Well, good evening, folks, and welcome to Istanbul, Turkey. This is the Basketball Champions League Game Day 5 clash between Besiktas and Falco Vulcano Sombote, and a very important game at that. Coming to you live here in the city where East meets West, and no doubt about it, very important game, especially for Besiktas, who cannot afford to drop any more home games here. They will be wearing the white. And meanwhile, Falco Vulcano Sombote looking to maintain some momentum that they've been able to build in this competition by winning last time out and actually having played very well this year. So an exciting time for the Hungarian club. And if they could get a win on the road, that would be huge. In Group B here on Game Day 5, PAOK taking on Happy Casa Brindisi. Also, Telekom Basketball against Neptunus Klaipėda. That'll be in Germany. And Casa de Mont Zaragoza against JDA Dijon, the hottest team in this group and arguably the hottest team in the competition. But our focus is on Besiktas and Falco Vulcano Sombote. So, Besiktas winning their opening game in the competition, but since that time it has been slim pickings. They have dropped 3 in a row. They won their first one at PAOK, but since that time they have lost a one-pointer at home to Casa de Mont Zaragoza. They lost by 4 at Telekom Basketball, and then they fell at Happy Casa Brindisi. So you see the standings there. Dijon flying high at the top, and these two teams, Falco Vulcano Sombote, are at 2-2 and in 5th place, but level on wins and losses with the two teams ahead of them. And I suppose the good thing is it's still not even at the halfway point of the season, so plenty of time for Besiktas to turn things around. But home games are a must, and especially if you have lost a home game, as they already have to Casa de Mont Zaragoza back on game day 2. So Falco Vulcano Sombote, Juvante Redick, Ron Curry, Devon Washington, Oliver Biro, Zoltan Pearl, he's been terrific, hasn't he? Benedict Varadi, Szilard Benke, a very tough lineup, a very good lineup. Peter Dequan Lake, Marco Filipovidi, and for Besiktas, Todrick Gosher. Keep an eye on him from deep. Omer Utku Al, Ismet Akpinar, the German international, Shaquille McKissick, Samet Gayek, John Turgott, James McAdoo, Burdick Yildizli, August Shavas, Jordan Theodore, and just a very strong roster indeed for them, Ege Jim Sun. So Dusko Ivanovic is the coach of Besiktas, and for Falco, Gasper Okorn, there he is. And what you like about this Falco Vulcano Sombote team is how they rebounded last time. They lost by just 1 point at Casa de Mont Zaragoza, a team that has been among the best in Spain this season. They lost that one on game day 3, but then they hit right back last week and won at home convincingly over Telekom Basketball 91-59. So they come into this game really with a full head of steam, winners of 2 of their last 3 games in the Basketball Champions League. The only game that they were really blown out in this competition, would you say, was that opener at JDA Dijon. They lost that one by 19 points, but it's a team that has grown in confidence. And for Besiktas, it's go time. I mean, there's no time like the present for them to start turning things around. We saw this club have a slow start last season, then they turned it on, and really were one of the better teams, I felt like, going into the playoffs. But in the end, their playoff struggles has been one of the notes of history in the Basketball Champions League. Besiktas have not been able to play as well in the postseason as they have in the regular season. But you just have to have the utmost respect for that man there, Dusko Ivanovic, and also as we talked about Gasper there, Okorn, the coach of Falco Vulcano Sombote. So Falco, quite a story when you consider everything that they did just to get here. They had to come through the qualifying round to make it this far, and not just the second qualification round, but the first. They had to win against CSM CSU Oradea of Romania. They won that one over 2 legs, and then they beat Ventspils, a team that has played in the Basketball Champions League before. So it really has been a wonderful experience for the Hungarian team, and really the Hungarian national team has had some notoriety in recent times. They've put on some great performances. We saw them play well at the FIBA Eurobasket 2017. We saw them play well during the European qualifiers for the FIBA Basketball World Cup. Not well enough because they didn't make it, but nevertheless, basketball continues, I think, to be trending in the right direction in Hungary. And, of course, in this country, Turkey. Turkey is always thereabouts at the top of the international game. I mean, they had a memorable World Cup. They almost upset the USA in that famous second game of the tournament for both teams. They went to overtime and they lost, and they kind of slipped up in the next game after that to the Czech Republic and did not advance. But remember, 2010, Turkey hosted the FIBA Basketball World Cup and made it to the final before falling to the USA. They have a famous history in basketball. Anyway, the referees tonight, Darius Zabalski from Poland, Sasha Maricic from Serbia, and Alexandre Demon from France. So the starting 5 for Falco, Vulcano, Sombote, Washington, Zoltan Pearl, Varadi, Binke, and Lake. And Sombote coach Gasper Okorn, who I think, just imagine very close to being 3-1. That would have been an amazing start for this team. And for Besiktas as well. I mean, they could very easily have been 3-1 themselves. They'll start with Ismet Akpinar, Shaquille McKissick, Samet Gayek. And also they've got Jordan Theodore, the MVP of the very first year of the Basketball Champions League when he played for another Turkish team, Bandirma. Well, one thing you want to always do, folks, is make sure you've got the Basketball Champions League app loaded into your smartphone. And also, if you want to get any wonderful news and information, you go there to that app. There's Dusko Ivanovic. I know that he's always going to the Basketball Champions League app to check the latest out. Or he'll go to the championsleague.basketball website. And you go to the Champions League.basketball website and you see some incredible things, which takes me to my next point. You get to read up on the latest power rankings compiled by Igor Cherkovich, who no doubt is on top of the game weekly. And this week he has Besiktas coming in struggling a little bit at number 23 out of the 32 teams in the Basketball Champions League. PAOK, unfortunately for them, are occupying that number 32 spot. And then if you go, as we get a look at all these fans here, if you go down a little bit more, all the way into the teens, you come upon number 18, and that's Falco Vulcano Sombote, who, as Igor quite rightly points out, is flying higher these days because of their defense, among the highest ranked defensive teams of the league, with a defensive rating of 96.1. So anything below that century mark of 100, that's an indicator that you've got a really good defense. So here we are about ready to start things off, and I might say from week to week, you never really know what to expect in the Basketball Champions League. And that's one of the great things about this competition, the unpredictability that we seem to get week in and week out with some of these results. It makes it a lot of fun. And right now, we are getting ready again for the opening tip. Well, good evening, good afternoon, folks. Good morning, wherever you're watching. We are underway here in Istanbul. It's Besiktas against Sombote in the Basketball Champions League, game day 5. And it was Falco Sombote missing with the first. And here comes Besiktas now attacking. And they turned the ball over. So an inauspicious start for Besiktas. Ball batted out of bounds. So you see Jordan Theodore, and there's Varadi, number 10. And that was Zoltan Pearl. In Hungary, they go with the names reversed, so he would be called Pearl Zoltan. And here he is. Zoltan sort of becoming a cult figure, I think, for his performances. And the long one, he got it off in time. Oh, and there is Varadi with the putback. And look at Jordan Theodore. Throws the ball off the support, the basket support, for not getting that rebound. A little bit of frustration. Nemanja Jurisic also in that starting 5. Here he is running the baseline. He's got the ball now. He puts it up from the corner. And the ball rebounded by Zoltan Pearl. Here's Varadi. Drive and the turnover. Besiktas, minute and a half into the game, looking for their first points of the game. Jurisic is going to launch it again from deep, and that was off a little bit to the left and short. Now Varadi. Not much pressure being applied by Besiktas here at the start, and they give away the open 3, and it's good. Well, Devon Washington says, if you're going to leave me this wide open, I'm just going to take it and make it like a free throw. The lead now 5 points. Akpinar hands it off to Theodore. Jordan Theodore bumped. So Benedikt Varadi picks up the foul. Jordan Theodore, oh, nice shifty move in the bounce pass, and the dunk coming in on the baseline from Jurisic. And really, you know what, Nemanja? If you're struggling a little bit at the start from deep, take it to the rack, and that's what he does. Love to see the point guard provide the assist for the first points. Varadi, and an offensive foul. The screen there, you saw him moving too much there, was Daquan Lake. So Daquan Lake, that was the bounce pass to Jurisic, which he flushed it with 2 hands. Shaquille McKissick with his first, rattles out, and the ball knocked out of Jurisic's hands. Oh, beautiful play, and throwing it down was Daquan Lake. Goodness me. Falco Vulcano Sombote setting the gym alight here early. Now slipping down, Akpinar gets it back to Jordan Theodore. Shot clock winding down. And nice pass, and Gajic with the layup. Samet Gajic, always a very hard worker. coming from the bench. It's interesting to see that his coach starting him tonight, looking for a spark, and Zoltan Pearl fouled outside by McKissick. One jump shot, no good. And there is Theodore with a little jumper. Sombote with that 1-point lead. And now Zoltan Pearl keeps the dribble low, gets inside. Back to Varady. Back in front of the rim, stays out. Now Jordan Theodore. And Jurisic, well, not sure why I didn't hold on to that one. Varady hands it off. Driving in, and the bump, and no foul. That was Binka missing. And now on the break is Akpinar. Varady, Hungarian international, being guarded by the Germany international, Akpinar. And look at that, nice spin move, getting inside. Devon Washington is fouled by Jurisic. I mean, probably not a lot of contact there. Got him with the body and the movement. So Akpinar is now going to take a seat. And Yildiz checks into the game for his first minutes. And Gotcher also in the contest now. 0. Podrick, good three-point shooter. Washington's 2 free throws take the lead now up to 3 for Falco Vulcano Sombote. And the dump, and the ball knocked away. We talked about the defense of Falco Vulcano Sombote right at the start of this broadcast. And so far, that's the way it's been. Here's Washington, wide open, this time misses from the corner. Theodore looks for an opening, decides to bring it back, gets it over to Gotcher. Zoltan Pearl left open. No, front and back of the rim out, but Washington gets the rebound, passes it back outside to Szilard Binka. And he hands it back off to Zoltan Pearl. Well, you've heard of Earl the Pearl. This is Zoltan Pearl. And this time denied. So McAdoo getting ready to check into the game for the first time for Besiktas. And Lake, Daquan Lake, who has the play of the game with that thunderous slam dunk on the fast break. He's going to take a seat. Theodore over to McKissick. Now McAdoo, who's in the game. Backs his man up now. He goes in, facing the basket, and already scores. Hook it right to Juvonte Redick. So perhaps mildly surprising that Redick didn't start tonight, but he was very slow about moving his feet on defense that time. And we've seen from McAdoo this season that he is able to hurt you in a variety of ways, but especially down low and especially on the boards. Comes into this game averaging a double-double, 11 points, 10.3 rebounds. Here's McAdoo, off to a good start, just coming into the game, but misses the free throw. And Redick, incredibly, picks up his second foul in the space of 1 second. I mean, trying to box out, and that is not a good development at all. Look at this. Well, he definitely kind of shoved Yildisley out of the way. So now Yildisley goes to the line. So potential 4-point trip down the floor. Yildisley ties it at 9 and puts Besiktas in front. So that was a frustrating sequence for the visitors, who are also now over the limit in fouls. So Besiktas a chance, whenever they get fouled, they'll go to the line. And now the ball goes off of Benka, and really 3 consecutive plays here, which begging the question, it might be time for a timeout. Filipowicz is going to check into the game instead. Marco Filipowicz comes in. Quentin Hooker also into the game now, number 21. He's guarding the ball. And this one, I think, is on Quentin Hooker. So free throws are coming. Yeah, and that was a good call. And this is what happens if you get over the limit too soon and the other team can shoot some free throws. Well, they've got an advantage. And Besiktas have already tonight been at the line a few occasions. In fact, just recently, 2 of 3 with the McAdoo miss. And the Yildisley made free throws. He is now a perfect 3 of 3 at the charity stripe. 4 of 4 now, and Besiktas with their biggest lead of the game at 3 points. So it was a great start for Sombote, but now they trail. The foul this time called on Jordan Theodore. Joined Ike last season, midway through the season. They went out in a surprise, I think, defeat to Brosa Bamberg in the quarterfinals. I think most people would call that a surprise, especially the way it transpired down in Athens. There's Jordan Theodore on the break, and very competent finish there from Jordan Theodore. Well, if he could ever get back to his form of a few seasons ago, when he lit up the Basketball Champions League and was named the MVP of the competition, leading Bandirma to the final. Here's a good reach, and the ball knocked away by McAdoo, but they get it back. Filipowicz, oh, it's a tough shot from him. That looked like a shot from the playground. Now Theodore. Besiktas on top by 5 and building momentum. Yildisley turns. Oh, what a swat by Redick. Get it out of here, he says. And now quickly responding to the other end, but missing was Ronald Curry. And that leads to another opportunity for Besiktas. Well, the story of the game for Falco Vulcano Sombote is they can't get out of their own way. And now they're having to contend with the likes of McAdoo, of McKissick. Well, you thought with Javonte Redick going up and getting the block that might spark the Hungarian team, but they missed a layup. Ronald Curry, so a timeout has been called.
They're not calling. They're foul on you, foul, I don't know. Hey. No. From 9-6, they run 8-0. Free throw, free throw, free throw, free throw. Because we don't can make a decision. Here. We are honest. 9 minutes. Problem. We are not rolling. Their defense, we go hard.
Well, Coach Okorn talking about the fouls they've been committing and leading to some easy opportunities
And be patient.
for Besiktas at the free throw line. Meanwhile, you also saw that stat 0 for 5 from three-point range for Besiktas. You know, that's not going to stay that way all night long. Meanwhile, 1 of 6 from three-point range for Falco Vulcano Sombote. So it's not been a great night shooting the basketball for either team. Gotcher, short. Filipovic pulls up the dribble, gets it back to Quentin Hooker. Benka, Zilar Benka, now Redick, and a three-point attempt is good. The first three for Quentin Hooker, and the second three for Falco Vulcano Sombote. Gets it back to a 2-point game. Gotcher. McKissick now. Dribbles behind his back. Gets it to Yildisley. Shot clock about to expire. Look at Yildisley, patient. Missed it. Followed up a shot, missed it again. And looks like now the last shot is going to belong to Falco Vulcano Sombote. At least they'll try to hold it for the last one. Here's Hooker. He just hit a three and a foul to give Besiktas, and it is committed by McAdoo. A little smart basketball, knowing he had one to give. .3 seconds, and a three-pointer, no good by Curry. Redick does a great job, but I think his attempt, the ball left his hands too late. So at the end of one quarter here in Istanbul, it is Besiktas leading it. And again, yep, great camera work. You see the shot clock up at the top, and also the leading on the backboard had already gone up before the ball left his hands. So 14-12, Besiktas Sampo Segorda leading Falco Vulcano Sombote at the end of one. Besiktas 5 of 10 inside the arc, 0 of 6 from deep, 4 of 5 at the line. So Yildisley making those free throws. Sombote, meanwhile, 2 of 7 inside the arc, 2 of 8 from three-point range, and 2 of 2 at the free throw line. Besiktas getting 4 points off turnovers and 10 points in the paint to just 4 for Falco Sombote. And again, you see the ball leaving his hands after the leading had already shown there on the backboard, the lighting. So they reviewed it, as they do. Here's some of the highlights from an interesting first quarter. That was a good follow there by Verratti. Look at this. Binka just had to toss it up. 8 points coming from the bench for Besiktas, so that has been important for them in this first quarter. And each team's biggest lead in this game has been 5 points. We had Dabalis leading Torun early tonight at the end of one, 26-23. Pauk knotted with Brindisi, also at 23-23. Pauk looking for their first win in the competition. Folks, make sure you've got the Basketball Champions League app in your smartphone to get all the latest news, information, stats, and one thing you got to read. You got to read Dickon Lloyd Smith's Champions League Insider every week. Always very insightful stuff. He comes up with some stuff I've never even thought about. You can learn a lot about the basketball game and see how these guys, what goes through their minds writing this stuff. And there is the second quarter underway now. Besiktas with possession. Jordan Theodore hands it off to Shaquille McKissick. Drives in, puts it off the glass. Swooping in for the rebound, Filipovic. Holds up now, looks to go in, brings it back outside, and throws it right into the hands of McAdoo, who goes in and lays it up. Oh, what a mistake. And McAdoo anticipating the pass. Great performance by him off the bench. Now from the left corner, Quentin Hooker draws iron. Again, the pass down low, the pass back out it goes to Theodore, who drifts in, misses. McAdoo not able to control the rebound. Pass batted, Gotcher saves it in bounds. And then McKissick goes behind his back but loses it into the hands of Filipovic. In the right corner now, Binka. Ron Curry back to Szilard Binka. Boy, how many times have we seen the ball rattle out tonight for the Hungarian team? Theodore from long way out. The team's having an almighty struggle shooting the basketball, but especially Besiktas from long range. Zero for 7. Good defense once again by, oh, but they don't stop him. Juvante Redick ends up getting the ball in the end and scores. And Gotcher was at the wrong place at the wrong time, picks up the foul. No, McAdoo almost forcing another turnover, but Redick catches it, goes up and scores, and now he is at the free throw line. McKissick takes a seat, and Omar Al comes into the game. And sure enough, Juvante Redick completes the three-point play to make it a one-point game again. Al. Akpinar back in, number 5. Gotcher passes out to Al. Now Akpinar, and the German shot is good. That's a 3. Well, it took a while, but they finally get one to drop from long range. 1 of 8 now from behind the arc. Quentin Hooker now swoops in, misses. Reddick follows, and Gotcher hands it off. Here's Akpinar again with a little runner. Great rebound by Gotcher. Now Benedict Corradi. Yildiz Lee, great job putting the ball on the deck and going to the basket. Foul was called before the shot on Filipovic. Well, Coach O'Korn has to be frustrated tonight. His team started well, but really they've been second best here. And here's driving in and scoring is McAdoo. McAdoo having himself quite a game already. 6 points. And a couple rebounds coming off the bench. And now a turnover gives the ball right back to Besiktas. Yeah, he dragged his foot and a little bit of help from the bench there. Dusko Ivanovic going from coach to referee. Saw him making the traveling sign. Going for the steal. Oh, Omar All now travels. His coach telling him, don't pick up your dribble. He was certainly not looking to take his shot. He just kind of shuffled his feet. Curry starting slow tonight, number 2. Filipovic now puts it up from a long way out and just grazed the net. Filipovic comes out. And coming back in is Devon Washington. Well, talking about going to the website and see a lot of things. You got to listen to the Coast to Coast podcast. Here's Akpinar. Going to put it up again. This time gets it to go. So to add his three-pointer earlier. Swooping in, putting it up, Hooker. And Omar All almost walked again, gets it to Akpinar, and he lays it up and in. And Falco Vulcano Sombote are gonna call timeout. Boy, they are just out of their sync, out of rhythm. They just look a little lost here. Again, having had the promising start, here they are now trailing by 10 points. Remember, this is a team that came through the qualification round 1 and then the qualification round 2 just to make it to the regular season. They've won 2 of their first 4 games in the competition, but they seem to be out of sorts tonight. And their shooting has been horrendous. 24%, 5 of 21 inside the arc, whereas Besiktas now 10 of 27 at 37%. That's not great, but it's gotten a little bit better. This was the latest where Quentin Hooker, I think, was hoping there was going to be a foul, but it allowed Besiktas to break to get the layup, and Gasper O'Korn decided we need to call a timeout and regroup because we're out of sync. Folks, I was talking to you about going to the Champions League.basketball website or going to the Champions League app through your smartphone. You can also listen to the Coast to Coast podcast every week. And I have to say, I thoroughly enjoyed. I thought one of the better interviews that I've heard on the Coast to Coast podcast last week, which was done by Austin Green and, of course, David Hein, was their interview of Nicolas de Jong, or as they say in France, Nicolas de Jong. But his father is Dutch, so we're going to go with de Jong, and he was such a wonderful interview. You hear some really good stuff on the Coast to Coast podcast. There is a nice jump shot, rattles out. Saying it once again, rattles out. And now the bump. Oh, Curry commits to foul. Now, one thing also I have to say about the Basketball Champions League, it's something that all of the players have remarked on every season, this competition, is they really do enjoy the social media, the videos that are put out there. So a lot of effort being put in to this competition in every respect. And of course, we're glad to be able to bring you these guys, these games live every week. Now the turnover into the hands of Zoltan Pearl. Cuts back. Now shifty move. Varady, will this be it for Curry? Yes, it will. The three-pointer. I'll tell you what, you're trailing by 10 points. That was a badly needed three. Yıldızlı. Akpinar. Bounce pass. And Gayak, who's back in the game, misses, chases, and it's Curry that comes up with the basketball. And now Benedikt Varady. Zoltan Pearl has it knocked out of his hands, but look at that, it goes straight to his teammate. Javonte Redick, what a stroke of good fortune. But Besiktas doing a good job defensively. They batted the ball away and it went right to the opponent for the easiest of layups. Omer Uku-Al has the shot blocked by Zoltan Pearl. Wow, Zoltan not liking the foul because it interrupts the momentum a little bit. It's going to put him on the line, but that was a good call. Got him right on the hand. And it's been a difficult night for this young man at the line. Omer trying hard to get it going. Here he is, bends the knees. Just needs to saw the ball go through the basket, and he does see it. And now he'll come back out of the contest. Nope, he's going to stay in. I thought he was coming out, but instead McKissick comes in for Gotcher. Back to a 6-point lead now. We've seen Curry start to come to life a little bit. Redick, we've seen him start to come to life as well. Javonte backing up his man. Jursic goes up, not quite as strong as he wanted. He's able to save it in bounds. No, he throws it off at Jursic, who doesn't allow it to go out of bounds. He catches it. Well, you don't see that often. And Varady now reaches in and commits the foul. Redick tried to throw the ball off of Jursic, and the ball just bounced up, and Jursic took possession. And the foul then by Benedikt Varady. Akpinar gets in, sprays it out to Yıldızlı. Now it is Akpinar missing from the line. And reaches in and commits the foul on Benedikt Varady. So Jordan Theodore is going to come back into the game for Akpinar, who pats Ivanovic on the back and says, "I thought I had a good shot, coach. I hope you're not mad at me about that." I'll tell you what, it's a good shot if you make it, I've decided. If you miss it, don't talk to me. Now the pass, Javonte Redick goes to the corner. This time he's able to throw it off of Jurisic, and Jurisic checks on him to make sure he's okay, and Redick doesn't want to hear anything about it. Look at this. Really crashed into the advertising. Curry drives in, all beautiful move, but 5-cent finish. And here we go. McKissick flies in and throws it down on the break. That is a 4-point swing. Nice play by Mr. McKissick. How in the world did Curry miss that layup? Back outside. And now the three-point attempt off target by Devon Washington. Suddenly, Sombate on the back foot again as Besiktas look to go to double digits with their lead. Jurisic backs in, hits it over to Omer Okuol, and Yıldızlı battles away for the rebound, and it will be Falco Vulcano Sombate basketball. Curry takes a seat, and Szilard Binka comes back into the game. And Szilard Binka, it might be time for him to step up a little bit. He's in the left corner. Say the same about Pearl, and he gets it in. And the alley-oop finished by Mr. Redick. Look at this. The Besiktas have had some opportunities to go up farther than they have. They have led by as many as 10. Now it's Yıldızlı misses from deep, and you can see Ivanovic asking for a timeout. And then the block called on Theodore. So Besiktas are going to go over to the bench. Coach Ivanovic wanting to make sure he can use his last time out here. That was Curry's miss. Seen a couple of wide open misses tonight. And the bad thing about a miss like that is when you see the other team run to the other end for a wide open layup or a dunk.
You don't switch two guys. You stay with your man. But you stay with your man.
Akpinar 7 points, McAdoo 6, and Yıldızlı 6. You might wonder why Coach Ivanovic is a little bit hot under the collar over there, and I'm going to tell you why. Because they've not been winning games. There's no, it basically comes down to wins and losses. And if you come into this game at 1-3, and you're 2-5 in Turkey, it doesn't matter how well you played in phases of these games, or how well you're supposed to play, or how well you could play. The fact of the matter is, if you're not playing smart and well and hard for 40 minutes, you're not going to win basketball games. You got to execute better. You got to play hard for all 40 minutes. And you get opportunities to go up by big margins. You got to take those opportunities. Ismet Akpinar watching from the sidelines. Wilton Pearl spins, passes it back outside to Washington. Count it! From the president, Washington. And that was just not going to make Ivanovic any happier, because he was talking about we got to guard number 6. Jurisic, meanwhile, answers with a sweet little jump hook. Take it back to a 5-point advantage. Varadi dribbling, guarded by Gotcher. Now hands it off to Zoltan Pearl. Goes up, oh, he banks it in. He is tough, isn't he? Theodore quickly, will they get it off? Yep, they will. Gotcher, oh, it hits a three right at the buzzer. That is what you call a lethal shooter from deep, catching it on the break and letting it go right before the buzzer. I'm sure they'll go and look at it just to make sure that he did beat the clock, but it looked like he made it in time. 33-27, Besiktas Sampo scored on top of Falco Vulcano Sombote at halftime. So 11 of 24, Besiktas, 2 of 11 from deep, 11-24 inside the arc, 5 of 7 at the line, 6 of 17 inside the arc for Sombote, and 4 of 14 from three-point range. So these teams perhaps going to heat up, we would imagine, the second half. 24-20, the rebounding advantage, and also 9-7, the assist advantage for Besiktas. And as Akpinar, McAdoo, and Yıldızlı leading the way for Besiktas, Washington has a game-high 8 points at halftime. Redick has 7, and Curry has 3. So it's 33-27. Besiktas at 1-3 on the season, leading it over a 2-2 Falco Vulcano Sombote at halftime. We'll be right back before the start of the second half.
Bamberg in transition with Paris Lee. Lee throws the alley. Oh, my Lord! Connects with it. Taylor got the lob. Paris Lee threw it up, and it was a throwdown.
Neptunus in the white. Neptunus start with the basketball. Come off the two screens. Great curve right down the lane, and he just flushes it for two. What a start. Goliath just went down hard and said thank you.
Solomon going to go to work against Margaritis. Oh, lovely crossover inside, and he puts down the poster, knocking Sarakopoulos to the floor. Oh, that's a power move to the basket. Just too much for Power to handle. Look at Sarakopoulos here. He ends up with his backside on the hardwood.
Beautiful handoff, and then just a hammer throw by Madsen. Well, we know he's got the jump shot, and now he shows us he's got some hops.
Frankie Ferrari steps back now, gets in, puts it up. Oh, that was a playground move, baby. Looked like he was going to step back and attempt a three, then he went in and put it up, releasing it with one hand. Look at that. He wowed his own teammates.
Jacobin Brown trying to lead the fast break, goes coast to coast. Oh, what a pass behind the back. Jacobin Brown adds himself to the highlight reel. It's Solomon Bramo who makes the two.
Extra pass, great scramble. Smith, little handle off the glass. The two is sweet. Just ghosts past the defense. Upstairs, oh, what a play. Brown orchestrates. Justice keeps it alive, knocks it away, chance to run for Zaragoza. Nice pass, beautiful finish. Obradovic gets the two. Super finish, super play.
Thompson on the roll, wide open, and Thompson hammers it home. Gives a look to the bench. Doesn't react at all. All in a day's work for Siobhan Thompson.
saw the sight of Birkan Batuk there looking on with the injury, his arm in a cast, and not able to play for Besiktas tonight, and certainly a player that they could use. But Besiktas right now leading at halftime over Falco Vulcano Sombote. And again, they're in the white t-shirt. Birkan Batuk having to make do as a spectator tonight. And clearly looks like he's going to be on the shelf for some time with that injury. But you got to get next man up. That's the philosophy in sports, and certainly has to be the philosophy of Besiktas with Batuk out. And you really have to wonder what's happened with Falco Vulcano Sombote tonight. They started well enough, but the execution wasn't there for probably a good 6 minutes, going midway through the first quarter into the second quarter. And since that time, they've just been kind of trying to get back level. And we'll see if Besiktas have enough to hold them off here tonight to get an invaluable second win. Well, folks, if you're just coming back from your visit to the kitchen or the local or whatever, here we are. Second half underway in Istanbul between Besiktas and Falco Vulcano Sombote. Washington, little spin. No black shirts there for the rebound. It's hauled in by McAdoo. McAdoo came off the bench in the first half and really sparked Besiktas. Jurisic backing up, and Washington, now the ball goes out to McKissick, and McKissick off target. And the ball batted by Daquan Lake, over to his teammate Washington. Now Quentin Hooker over to Washington, and this time the ball goes in and out. Okay, we've seen that more times than not tonight. Looks like the ball's going in for this Sombote team. It just does not go down. McKissick to McAdoo. It's time to go to work. Nope, he's going to pass it back outside. McKissick, jump shot about free throw line distance. Zoltan Pearl collects the rebound. So let's start here to the second half offensively for both teams. Pearl, well, smooth. Pearl, just like the Earl, drops it in. Now Theodore. Three-point attempt. Jurisic misses. And again, Besiktas 1-3 with an opportunity here. You feel like to put some distance between themselves and this Falco Vulcano Sombote team. They've led by as many as 10 points. Right now, the lead is 4. Theodore bumped by Zoltan. Zoltan Pearl. Yildiz and Akpinar back in the game. Going baseline, McKissick. Oh, he was getting ready to throw it down, but Szilard Binka commits the foul. Probably in the grand scheme of things, not a bad foul, because he was going to throw this one down. Got a lot of ball there, Szilard Binka. All rims out. And McKissick makes the second, so again, the foul prevents the dunk, saves them a point from Botte, but they've got to get it going now. They just got a jumper from Pearl. Maybe he's going to look for his shot a little bit more. Quick pass down low, and Lake misses. Like he had good elevation there on the first attempt, but was well short. Now Jordan Theodore lays it up in. Vintage Jordan Theodore. Those are the types of drives that have been so effective for him, and now a foul called on Lake. So the ball goes back over to Besiktas. Oh, it's excuse me, it's not on Lake, it's on Hooker. And that was for Theodore with that tough drive into the heart of the defense. Just did not care who was going to be in his way. He just took it to the ring. Now Ismet Akpinar, go back to Theodore. Nope, Akpinar's going to pull up, have the shot blocked. Colton Pearl. Here goes Washington wide open. Well, they desperately need Washington to knock those shots in. The way it started, we thought we were going to see those balls going in. Now, McKissick answers with a long two. And the lead back to 9. Good defense by McKissick, knocking the ball away. Goes in for the two-handed dunk. Colton Pearl a little lazy. Excuse me, it's not McKissick. It's McAdoo. Goes in for the two-handed dunk. Again, McAdoo flying high. And that leads to another timeout. Four points in the paint for Besiktas, 12 for Falco Sombate.
Let's go, hey, keep your head up after basket. Get the fucking ball and go to the fast break. Let's go. Get the arrow.
Aspercorn wants to see his team going to the basket, not settling for jump shots. Go hard to the rim and just see what happens. Much like Mr. McAdoo, who I mistook momentarily there for Shaquille McKissick. And McAdoo has been terrific tonight. Filipovic hands it off to Binka. Filipovic, they just said go to the basket. Here we go. That's and he gets rejected. And the ball batted out of bounds. It's going to be, look at this. Mr. McAdoo must have been listening in on that timeout, knowing the drive was coming because he was having none of it. McAdoo is putting himself together quite a season in the Basketball Champions League, perhaps not fully appreciated because of Besiktas' record. Zelard. Inca. Now here we go, and the drive and the basket is good, this time by McKissick. Ball goes through the hands of Quentin Hooker, the legs rather. He's able to get it back, and it's going to lead to an opportunity, and 2 points for Redick. So they got something out of nothing, but then hustling to the other end is Shaquille McKissick. He catches the long pass, and he draws the foul. And right now, this Besiktas team is just out hustling Falco Vulcano Sombate just seemed to want it a little bit more. Quentin Hooker picks up the foul. Have they called an unsportsmanlike foul? Just looking at the reaction by Hooker. That was Redick. And you can't stand around admiring your shot. You got to get back and play defense. So it was indeed an unsportsmanlike. So it'll be 2 shots and possession. And McKissick makes the first. Long way to go in this one, but the way the flow of the game and the intensity, it's all coming from the team in white. And McKissick again goes 1 of 2 at the line. Long jump shot is good. Rattles in for Mr. McKissick. 4 points down the floor that time for Shaquille McKissick, and it's a 14-point advantage. Falco Vulcano Sombate just not at the races tonight. Varady now misses. Swooping in for the rebound is McAdoo. Well on his way to another double-double. Yudisli puts it on the deck. Now almost loses it, but gets it back. Zoltan Pearl puts some pressure, as well as Filipovity. Gotcher gets it over to Theodore. And remember that Gotcher three-pointer right before halftime. A little bit of a momentum taken with that shot. Three-point attempt. Oh, Pearl can't get it to go. They must lead the league tonight in balls that have rimmed out or rattled out. They're not missing by much. Varady gets it to Pearl. Dumps it to Redick. And nice play by Javonte Redick. Every time Pearl penetrates and draws the defense, he finds Redick. He now has 11 points. Pick by McAdoo. He rolls, but Theodore elects to hold on to the basketball. Now he looks at him and he gets it to him, but he looks for a foul, none giving. And here on the break, it's Pearl, and a quick reaction. Hilton Pearl says, I got hit, ref, I got hit. But nevertheless, Sombate cut the deficit to 10 points. Here it is again. Good hustle. And Ivanovic does not want to see the run extend beyond 4 points. So he calls timeout.
We need the pressure of the ball, okay? Look, you take 9. And the little problem is switch with 2 guys, okay? First pick is under, but if pick at 3 points,
Rebounding advantage by the Sixers.
penetrate switch. Attention in the play zone. You know, we play blue and move the ball, okay? Blue. We play
So let's see if it's going to be more of the same for Falco Vulcano Sombate, or if the Besiktas team is going to regain the initiative here. Really, it's a pivotal moment in the game. 2 straight baskets, and including the fast break variety. Also, 2 straight baskets in the paint, right around the ring. So let's see how they respond. Akpinar Left open in the paint. It's short, and Varady with the rebound. Oh, Omer Otual reaches in, fouls Zoltan Pearl. A little bit of a late whistle. Now Ivanovic is complaining that he didn't think a foul was called at the other end. There's no doubt about that being a foul. I'm not sure which play Ivanovic is talking about, but he knows he's up by 10 points and he doesn't want to get a technical. And the ball almost lost. Now Javonte Redick going up against McAdoo. Tough move. Hey, Javonte Redick. Slow start, came off the bench in the first half, but in the second half, this third quarter here, he's been tough. And he's gotten that deficit back to 8 points. Udisley drives in off one foot. Oh, that's a tough finish. Curry back in the game, trying to add some spice to the attack. Zoltan Pearl back to Filipovic. A little bit of razzle-dazzle, and much better from Marco Filipovic. Besiktas tried to attack quickly this time. Sombote got back. McAdoo again picks, rolls, and Omar Otual bounce pass. Yildiz back out, gets it, shakes and bakes, puts it up from three. All of a sudden, oh, is it going to be a two? No, it is a three, and it's Yildiz with a spark. He sparked him in the first half at the free throw line, and here he is now with a nice little runner and then a three-pointer. Bounce pass, Redick goes up, scores with the left hand. Sombote, you figure they've got to stop Theodore, they've got to stop the likes of McAdoo, but Yildiz you don't think is going to be the player to cause the problems, but here he is. He's got the ball in his hands again. What's he going to do? He's going to pick and now he's going to roll. No, he's going to pass it, skip pass, a little bit out of control. Al puts it up off the back of the iron, and Varady, a long rebound. Final 30 seconds of the third quarter. This game has really picked up for excitement. Here's Zoltan Pearl, has it knocked away by Omar Otual, but look at Varady get off the floor. Now we're seeing some Falco Vulcano Sombote basketball that we've been accustomed to seeing. Varady for three. And the final seconds now ticking off the clock here for Besiktas, who look to get the last shot. Final seconds. Gotcha again for three! And off the ring. And that would have been a dagger if that one had gone in, especially considering what happened into the first half, but he misses it. And at the end of three quarters, it's Besiktas leading it 50-41. The game really coming to life. And Besiktas now all the way up to 52% inside the arc. So Sombote as well improving to 13-27 inside the arc. So they're shooting a lot better in the third quarter. One thing that Sombote have not been able to do is get to the line. And that was why Coach Gasper Okorn took him to task. He's like, listen, guys, we got to start putting pressure on their defense and try to start getting some free throws here. This is how they started the third quarter with Zoltan Pearl. Soft little jump shot. But Pearl's only got 6 points on the night. Really, the guy that's doing the damage is Javonte Redick, although Pearl has been doing some shaking and baking and getting in the basketball. He's got 7 assists, Zoltan Pearl. And Varady, interestingly, has 9 rebounds. Same as James McAdoo, who has 9 rebounds to go with his 8 points. And the X factor in that third quarter certainly had to be Burak Yildiz, who now has 11 points and 5 rebounds. That's right, you heard it here first, folks. The X factor. Burak Yıldızlı. Nobody expected him to go down, make a couple of big plays there. Some of the Besiktas faithful looking on. McAdoo, meanwhile, don't forget, had that sensational swat in the third quarter. He really had the wind in his sails. McAdoo also has 4 steals. And I hope the people that are voting on the All-Star or the Team of the Week remembers that. He's got 4 steals. He's at plus 21 efficiency right now. You're talking about McAdoo, a man who's averaging a double-double in the Basketball Champions League. Double-double in points and rebounds. Yıldızlı. Good pass over to Akpinar. And Yıldızlı comes in, makes another play. Another opportunity for the home team. The offensive rebound. Omer Utku Al. It's it to Gotcher. And Gotcher misses. I was about to say gotcha. Alvaradi. Foul by Al. Alley-oop, oh, just let him a little bit too much, and Redick throws it out of bounds, trying to save it. It was the right play, but the pass was not made with pinpoint precision. And now, under 9 minutes remaining. Obviously plenty of time, but Theodore's back in the game, running the show here for Besiktas. Yıldızlı gets the pass from Theodore. Shot clock about to expire. He's going to have to put it up, and he loses it out of bounds. Oh boy, Redick saw the opening for a second, took his time. He is finishing at the rim, isn't he? Look at that. Redick. Big bad Javonte Redick going to work, putting on the hard hat and scoring down low all night long. Got 17 points now, Redick. Theodore, meanwhile, with a little runner in traffic. Points, 5 assists for Redick. Excuse me, for Theodore. And Besiktas with that 9-point lead. Juricic, meanwhile, checks into the game for Yıldızlı. Gotcher also takes a seat as McKissick comes back into the game. So now it's Besiktas bringing in the big guns, trying to finish things off. But you have to say, Yıldızlı and Gotcher doing a good job out there. Curry. Varady for 3. Nice shifty move by Theodore, but then he lost it out of bounds. He was almost going to be on the have one of the plays of the week with that one. He faked out his man and was going to the basket. Now Varady takes a seat, and Quentin Hooker comes back in for the first time since committing the unsportsmanlike foul on Shaquille McKissick. Hooker certainly has big game veins. Let's see if he can start to make some plays, but good play by McKissick, stealing it. Now up ahead it goes to Akpinar, and he's blocked from behind. Akpinar frustrated that a foul was not called here. Watch this. That was Szilard Binka having the ball knocked away. No, that was a great block from behind. Is it Filipovity? Yep, Marco Filipovity. 3 blocks for Sombote today. Jurisic short. Had to take that because the shot clock was about to expire. Under 7 minutes to go now, 6:45 in the game. Quentin Hooker. So Quentin Hooker launches it from deep, and just offensively tonight, this Falco Vulcano Sombote team has not been at the races. They have struggled to put the ball in the basket. Usually when that's the case, you want to try to force some turnovers and get some easy buckets. But the buckets are being made by Besiktas and Theodore, who scores with a runner for not the first time tonight. Redick. He's been Mr. Reliability for this Sombote team tonight. I mean, you almost have to go to him every single time down the floor because he has been that good. Nine of 10 from the floor, Redick. 3-point attempt, McKissick. Filipovic with the rebound. 5:40 remaining. And Sombote have got to play defense and get some more baskets by that man, Juvonte Redick. I mean, every time down the floor, run something, run a pick and roll. Just look at him, let him post up, clear out, and let him attack, because he is having his way with that Besiktas defense. 21 points for Juvonte Redick. But they can't trade baskets. They got to get stops. Akpinar fouled by Szilard Benka. Has been pressure on the defense. Now Jurisic comes out. He was okay in the first half. Hasn't played as much in the second. And as we said, Yıldızlı has been really one of the better players tonight for Besiktas. Yıldızlı with 11.6 rebounds. Now gets it to Akpinar. That would have been big, but the long rebound, nobody gets it except it goes to Akpinar. And then the tap by McAdoo. Oh boy, that is a killer. Well, he's got another double-double with that one. 10 points, 10 rebounds, 4 steals for McAdoo. High off the glass by Hooker, and you wonder if that last sequence is just going to be one that this Falco Sombote team doesn't recover from. Oh, Filipovic. That was Yıldızlı doing what he's been doing all night, hustling. But the long rebound that went to Akpinar off the missed three-pointer is going to be one of those plays that they rue at the end of the game. I mean, you got a chance at a comeback. You've got to be able to pick up a rebound. Now Quentin Hooker comes out and fouls Theodore. That's foul number 3. Sombote. Woodard Theodore has played good basketball tonight. He can play better. He does have 5 assists, but 3 turnovers. To go with his 8 points. Here he is again. Bounce pass. Oh, beautiful basketball. Finished by McAdoo. 12 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 steals for McAdoo. He's at plus 25 efficiency. It's not always pretty for McAdoo, but it is sure effective. He has been a huge difference maker tonight. Now Redick, ball knocked out of his hands. Hooker picks it up, puts up kind of a wild three-pointer. Now Theodore fouled by Washington as he crosses midcourt, and really, you know, we sung the praises of the defense of this Falco Vulcano Sombote team tonight, and really overall, you know, the effort level, and I would suggest also the determination, the focus just hasn't been there, which is a shame for them because they've played very well the previous 2 weeks to go to 2-2, but they're about to drop to 2-3.
It's fine. Good. Okay. Let's try. Other help. Okay.
Well, while we've got a minute, folks, just as a reminder, make sure you've got the Basketball Champions League app in your smartphone to get all the latest news, scores, information, feature interviews, features, a lot of really good stuff. But yeah, maybe this is the type of game that Besiktas win. They can get some confidence from and get on a roll. Usman Akpinar, 7 points, a couple of rebounds. James McAdoo, 12 points, 12 points, 11 rebounds, 4 steals and a block. He's at plus 27 efficiency. Shaquille McKissick, 10 points, 4 rebounds. Gordon Theodore, 8 points, 6 assists. And Yıldızlı, 11 points, 8 rebounds. I hope he gets a couple more rebounds. That would be great. Nice little talking point there, a little double-double for Mr. Yıldızlı. But look at McAdoo, 12 points, 11 rebounds. I think his new nickname is going to be James Double-Double McAdoo because that's what he does every time out. Theodore into the corner. Now Yıldızlı back to Akpinar. Count it! That was execution. Big time. 14-point lead. Washington and Theodore with the push. He won't mind giving that away. Here again, the replay. Zoltan Pearl in position to rebound it. You know, on McAdoo, this will be his third consecutive double-double. He just missed it on game day 2. He had 9 points and 14 rebounds against Bonn, Telecom Baskets Bonn. Pearl from deep, misses badly. And now Theodore, under 3 minutes remaining. Yıldızlı back to Theodore, puts it up from deep. And Quentin Hooker has had a tough night tonight, not able to rebound that. Actually, he had the ball, but it was Washington that knocked it out of his hands. Curry was not able to really contribute, I think, like his team need him to contribute tonight. A tough night for him. Just a couple of very makeable shots in the first half. And Shaquille McKissick. There will be no home collapse tonight for Besiktas. Not with 2:14 remaining. They have just been too good tonight. They've wanted it more than the team in black. Elard Benka. Dump. And Zoltan Pearl. They will keep possession. Hooker. Hooker's had a night to forget. 1 of 9 from the floor. His only points coming from a three-pointer. He's got 4 fouls and 2 turnovers. He is a -6 efficiency rating. And the layup attempt missed. Adds insult to the effort tonight. That was Benka. And now we've got a 1.5 minutes remaining. Well, as bad as they played, they were still in it at the end of 3 quarters. Here he goes, 3-point attempt from Yıldızlı. It's good. Continues his fine effort tonight. 14 points, 9 rebounds. Come on. Burak, get one more rebound. Get that double-double. The fans want you to get it. I know he doesn't care. Hooker will go to the free throw line. Well, we're going to get a look now at Turgut coming in, number 10. Oh, it looks like Yıldız is going out, so he's not going to get the double-double. We'll finish with 14 points, 9 rebounds, a couple of assists. John Turgut now in the game. Sombote just had an almighty struggle. You can see from the floor in this quarter, 3 of 11, 7%, 44% for Besiktas. 16. McKissick brings it up, and we have got exactly 1 minute remaining. McKissick goes behind his back. 18-point lead. And goal difference is important. Here he is again. McKissick and puts it up from deep. Three-pointer is good. Will McKissick, 16 points. Now Theodore, oh, overhead pass, and he gets it to McKissick, who throws it down. A little bit of Harlem Globetrotteritis from Mr. Theodore. And Ivanovic wants to see another play. It's like, we've had a long season. Let's get another one here to sign off on. Let's feel good about ourselves. It's 72-49. They have rolled to a decisive win here in the fourth quarter. And Washington now commits foul. That is foul number 5 on Sombote here in the fourth quarter. There are more free throws coming. Look at that. Over the head pass. Shaquille, the smaller Diesel. There he is, makes the first. Well, they have ended up putting up a big number tonight on Sombote in terms of margin. 25 points. The difference now. Sombote will go for one last shot here. And Zoltan Pearl gets in the paint, lays it up, and that's how it finishes, folks. Well, it'll be interesting to see how both of these teams respond after this game tonight. Ivanovic, congratulated by Oakhorn. Besiktas get the sweet taste of victory back in their mouths. They win it 74-49 over Falco Vulcano Sombote. Well, it was about as decisive as it comes, the way the fourth quarter unfolded. Besiktas, they had the whiff of victory tonight, and this time they really grabbed it. Took that chance with both hands, and pulled away for a decisive victory here in the fourth quarter. Traditional celebration here at the end of the game. The fans applauding their team as they leave the court, and they will no doubt go back and have a better team meal tonight. I don't think Coach Ivanovic is going to have them practicing later tonight after that performance. They look pretty good. They struggled a little bit early on, but they came out and in the end were decisive. Ended up shooting better than 50% inside the arc. Made 7 threes, and they're 9 of 13 at the line. Sombote, well, just wasn't really at the races tonight for long stretches. They ended up being out-rebounded by 14, out-assisted by 5, and Besiktas had 8 steals compared to 6 for the visitors. Besiktas ended up getting 20 points from McKissick, 14 from Gildesley, and 12 from McAdoo. Redick at game-high 21 in defeat. Falco, Vulcano, Sombote. A couple of stats that were really, I think, quite telling. 18 fast break points in the end for Besiktas. You know, some of those fast breaks coming right after scores. Falco Sombote just did not get back on defense, and also 15 second chance points, which is poor. 15 second chance points for Besiktas tonight. Of course, that they had 14 of their 46 rebounds coming on the offensive glass. Compare that to just 7 offensive rebounds for Falco Vulcano Sombote. So a decisive win, and Besiktas get their second victory now. They go to 2-5. Excuse me, they go to 2-3, and Falco Vulcano Sombote dropped to 2-3, and the race becomes tighter now in Group D for those top 4 spots. Remember, it's the top 4 teams that will advance to the to the playoffs. So you got to salute the X Factor tonight. The X Factor being Burak Yıldızlı with 14 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists for Besiktas. Very good contributions coming from him, especially with Birkan Batuk not able to play. And without question, for Falco Vulcano Sombote, their top player tonight was Juvante Redick with 21 points. He was 10 of 11 from the floor, all inside the arc. And quite possibly the only player, really, to come out with any credit tonight. Maybe you could say Zoltan Pearl had 7 assists to go with his 6 points for plus 11, but when your team like the Hungarian team, Falco Vulcano Sombote, and you've got 2 players with negative efficiency, Hungarian international Szilard Dinka at -4, and also Quentin Hooker -4, you know it's not been a good night. So after the final score, 74-49 in favor of Besiktas, you see the standings. Besiktas temporarily anyway in 3rd place at 2-3, and Falco Sombote now at 2-3 as well in 4th place. But those standings will change as other results in the group come through today and tomorrow. So that's it, folks. 74-49. Besiktas win it at home over Falco Vulcano Sombote. Besiktas win at 74-49 over Falco Sombote.
Princesse, contrôle 1000 qui bouge.